Co. From 7 to 9, come kick with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9, it's Tingle Co. What up, Lloyd? What up, Lloyd? You can call me him. I'm Shay Dixon in the whip with them RPMs. Gotta pull up to the jet and shit out to them.
Let's go!
Get out the gym.
Welcome.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you Karen Lace. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle Co. From 7 to 9. Come kick with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9. It's Tingle Co.
The Tigers versus the what? How do you say it? Is it Chanticleers? Is it the Chanticleers? Is it the Chanticleers?
Chanticleers.
The Chanticleers.
There's no better bird. There's no better bird. It's the only bird. We get hit by pitches with the Chanticleers.
It's Tingle Co. From 7 to 9.
Tonight in the Chuck.
Oh, I left my toes out for the people.
Let's go. Can they see him?
Oh, no.
They can't see him, huh?
That's some paid-for
Or can they?
content right there.
Uh-oh. We are live here in Omaha in the Airbnb. We've got the, hopefully, the network issues that we had yesterday have been solved.
Does it not feel a little bit better already?
It feels a little bit better already, if I'm going to be honest. As we are live
So
here.
fuck you in the chat, whoever that was in the comments, and whatever Lloyd touches doesn't work. Not true. You come on the road for 50 days, 50 states, 50 different setups, and you do my job. Somebody that is clearly unqualified to do it, and you figure it out. Google is your friend. Why don't you look something up and tell me how to do it? Or, if you know how to do it, fuck it, I'll hire you, and you can come do it, and you can come take all the bullshit whenever this isn't really my job. Nobody else wants to do it. I do it. I brought him here to learn how to do it. All he does is this.
I learned.
He fell asleep on the stream yesterday.
No, it was before the stream, actually.
Unbelievable that we try to give you all content all over the town, all over at Omaha. We go from hotel to hotel to hotel, and you're like, not good enough. Suck my dick.
Shout out to Tommy G. Go Mark.
And for all the people that love it, thank you.
Let's go. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Shout out to Tommy G. getting us here, taking care of us. And let's go. It's a national championship, number 8, road to number 8. The final trek of the journey begins tonight at 6 p.m.
Not to look ahead, but if you are writing like the headlines for The Advocate, obviously this is a huge deal. Everybody wants to go get a copy if LSU wins a national championship. They just have to write one word. 8.
8.
It's
Big time.
7.
LSU baseball tonight versus Coastal Carolina at 6 p.m. in the Chuck. It is LSU, who's the number 6 overall national seed, and Coastal Carolina, the number 13 overall national seed, but none of that matters tonight. These are the two best teams in the country facing off in the Chuck. Coastal Carolina 56-11, LSU 51-15. Some big-time baseball tonight, and from what I have heard and seen with my two eyes, the ocean of purple and gold has flooded in here in Omaha, Nebraska, as the Tiger fans have made their way to Alec Box Stadium North. Nate, 1886, got into Omaha last night. Where the party at? I believe it's at Rocco's, my friend. From what I've seen on social media, Rocco's has been bumping. We will likely make our way over there ahead of game time tonight after we preview LSU versus Coastal Carolina tonight. Our guy at Inside LSU Baseball will join us live. He will be calling in to help us break down the matchup tonight and this weekend as LSU takes on Coastal Carolina. Look, we went into pretty good detail yesterday in who these teams were as they face off tonight. Two very similarly constructed teams facing off tonight. Before we get into the true nitty-gritty breakdown, what we didn't do yesterday was give our personal opinions and thoughts, score predictions, series predictions, all that. We'll get that started now. Christian, start it with your score prediction for tonight and then your series prediction overall.
Oh, I haven't even – obviously I've thought about the series, but the score. What's the line?
8.5. 8.5. Obviously, Coastal Carolina going with Cameron Flukey on the mound, their Game 2 guy. LSU pitching their ace, Kade Anderson.
Last time for Kade and the PNG, huh? unless you have
unless
some
he-
sort of scenario where he comes out the bullpen in a game
Last
3.
start to cover it.
Last start.
The last
It's
start
It's
for
safe to
Kade
say.
Anderson.
LSU 5-1 tonight. Tomorrow I can see myself picking the Chanticleers. But tonight, LSU 5-1. I think LSU gets the job done with Kade on the mound. I think this Coastal pitching staff won't be able to keep down the hot Tigers lineup. I think tomorrow, though, would be the day you see LSU struggle a bit. So 5-1 LSU tonight.
And then you for your series prediction, you have
I got
LSU
LSU in
winning
3.
in 3.
In 3.
Okay, Lloyd, score prediction for tonight. Series prediction overall.
It is now on a sports book that I'm currently looking at. 8.5
Is the
over
under?
So you have to put some credence into that as to see where you would kind of set your win like your winning score, I guess you would say, your run line, whatever you want to call it. 8.5 makes it seem like it's either 4-3 or 5-3 or 5-4. So they expect a close game. LSU also plus 1.5 if you want to give up a run and a half. So you can get LSU at minus 1 run and a half for a 105 on the ticket. Moneyline LSU minus 160. So the favorites, clearly, as you look at the first matchup with Kade Anderson against Flukey, you have to think that it's an under game, right? Just because of the way Kade Anderson's pitched, I don't think that the Chanticleers, excuse coach, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Watch yourself.
I'll never make the mistake
Don't
again,
disrespect.
'cause you look like you are still very much into corporal punishment. Like, you look like you backhand the shit out of those kids. But
Kidding.
Chanticleer, no, well, kidding. He couldn't. That's where
Kenny
it goes.
Balala.
Oh, happy birthday, Kenny.
Shout
Kenny.
out. Thank
Happy
you very
birthday,
much,
Kenny.
Happy birthday, my
Happy
friend.
birthday, Kenny.
Appreciate you. Lloyd will get a jello shot down for you.
Oh,
or 2
absolutely.
or 3 or 4. All right, continue, Lloyd.
So, yes, with the propensity in which the Chanticleers do like to get hit by pitches,
Yes.
I think it doesn't really factor in how Kade likes to pitch. I think he can work both sides of the zone and go up, down, left, right, and his control has proven paramount this year. Not the team that you expect to be able to – what's been Kade's biggest bugaboo this year? The solo homer?
Solo homers.
I don't think that's a team that's going to capitalize on that he leaves one up and over the zone when he gets – it's almost like he gets frustrated with the umpiring and just goes, here, hit it. And then sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. But he doesn't mind giving up a solo shot just because, like, if you want to strike, I'll throw you a strike. I'm not going to walk anybody.
Yeah.
And so he'll put one over the zone just to be able to re-evaluate the zone in a way. So with all of that said, I would think LSU, Kade Anderson, give me a 5-2 ball game. LSU wins.
And then series overall.
LSU in 2.
LSU in 2.
Tired of the Ianson date, like all of the hate or the doubt, the date, whatever you want to call it. I think he's been proven, even when he gives up 3 against UCLA, you didn't get to see the rest of that baseball game, but he's chomping at the bit to be able to get in there, shove, and prove why he is the best part of the 1-2 punch in the country. And even if Ianson starts off slow, somehow LSU finds a way to be able to score runs. I think it's LSU in 2.
I'm with you. LSU in 2 as well, in my opinion. The only reason I would go LSU in 3 isn't an Anthony Ianson doubt. It's more of just a respect for Coastal. But I do think LSU has the best 1-2 punch in the country, has all year, and that's what I'm betting on when I'm going LSU in 2. Tonight, I think the under hits, but I'm going 6-2 Tigers. So it's 8.5. I think it's going to be 8 runs. LSU wins by a handful. I just think Kade Anderson is going to go out there and shove. What was that number that you had earlier, Christian? I think I'd quote tweeted it.
Yeah, Coastal Carolina is 276th out of 302 teams.
267th out of 307.
Out of strikeout percentage when facing a left-handed pitcher.
Yes, Coastal Carolina ranks 267th out of 307 Division I teams in strikeout rate versus left-handed pitching. And tonight they will be facing the best left-hander in the country in Kade Anderson. And I think on top of that, if Kade Anderson goes through pitches well from the left side, that's an opportunity to follow him up with Cooper Williams. If it's a closer game, it'll be Casey Evans, who's a righty. But I just think LSU has it set up tonight to go out there and take care of business. I don't think the solo homers will be happening. One, Coastal is not a power hitting team. Like I said yesterday, they have not hit a single home run in Omaha They have 2 guys on their team with double-digit homers, Alexander with 10, Barthol with 12. Good afternoon, Tommy G. Thank you for joining us.
We're still here. Still here.
Still rolling. You
going
see
to link up with
down
Wright today, right after this.
Right after this. But, yeah, I think LSU's going to come out. I think they're going to swing the bats against Flukey. I think Flukey doesn't extend into this ball game. I think he's a very good pitcher, like
what are
I
his
said.
strikeout numbers?
He is he's 109 20 to 22 is the ratio. 109 strikeouts to 22 walks. This is not a team that walks a lot of batters. Like I said, they have an 8% walk rate, so they are not going to walk you. But I do think this LSU lineup is ready for right-handed pitching. Flukey is a big right-hander with a good fastball. 96, 97 is about where it's at. But I think LSU is going to swing the bat. If they can get into the bullpen, I wouldn't be surprised if they go with Hayden Johnson out of the pen, who's a lefty. He's got 52 strikeouts to 17 walks on the year, 23 appearances with a 3.00 ERA.
Just for context, Kade has 170 strikeouts this year.
Yes.
I think he leads the country in strikeouts. But
Anthony Einstein third.
But that's no number to sneeze at.
No, 109 strikeouts.
And the walk-to-strikeout ratio, that's extremely impressive. So LSU, get up there. Don't look for walks. I do think the hit-by-pitches thing is going to play a factor at some point, whether on both sides, because LSU kind of does the same thing. I don't think it's to the extent where they don't feed the players if they don't get a hit or if they don't get hit by pitches, but it is 2 teams that like to stand on top of the plate.
Yep.
They're not scared. I wonder if that will play a factor in the way that this game has been umpired, where you've seen guys that stand on top of the plate that don't necessarily move a ball is in the strike zone or if it's coming for their elbow. It's been able to be reviewed, and I wonder if that's going to play a factor today where it's going to be one of those, take a look at that,
yeah.
And if you do, it's an automatic out. It's not a strike. It's not anything. It's out. You're gone. See ya. Like, go back to the bench. And so I think that will play a factor because of the way that Jay Johnson will deliberately use challenges, and if it's a momentum swing in a part of a game where you think that you might have a chance to help the umpire make a decision where you have to have more eyeballs on it, and the more you look at things that are arbitrary, the more it seems like they tend to get it wrong.
Yeah.
Where it's like the more that you put eyes on it, and the more you slow it down, and the more it's like, oh, it looked like he actually moved toward it for 1 second. Out.
Later.
And so it's one of those, it's like, it's almost like challenging a catch in football now, where it's like, if you slow it down enough, you can convince yourself of anything. And that's where I think they are with the hit by pitches. But like I said, with Kade on the mound, shouldn't be a concern, but there's also other guys that come out the pen that, look, and we saw Chase Shores, looks like a guy that didn't do long toss in practice yesterday. He's trying to keep that arm loose because he wants to pitch until his arm falls off.
Yeah. I think with the hit by pitch, it's a strike unless – I think it's just a strike if you lean into it.
Well, that's what I was wondering because in the last game whenever we saw it, they
It was
called them
full
out. Was
count.
it a third strike?
It was full count.
So it's a strike. It's not like a foul ball. It's right.
Yep, 2-1.
Okay, because I thought that the conjecture was that it was not a full count, not 2 strikes on the hitter, but I was listening to a third party about him explaining it to me.
I'm pretty sure that's. I mean, we'll see.
I mean, that's why we had
That's
the
what I
conversation about it, is because it got from I thought it was just a strike to no, he was out, and I was
Right.
like, well, I don't know, but this is what happened, and this is what I was told. I do think that is a thing that people are going to look at.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's going to play a big factor.
I got to point this back up. Oh.
Oh, there we go. Seems like, yeah. Seems like it's back up, refresh. Thank you for sticking with us. Yeah, no, Lloyd made a good point. I mean, that all of these things are going to be factors, whether big or small. The hit by pitch and things like that are going to play a real factor in this game. Look, shout out to our guy Will Rosenblatt on Twitter. Coastal Carolina pitcher Cameron Flukey has a 5.91 ERA when facing Power 4 teams this year. I would take I'd go the length to say this is likely the best lineup he will see this year. I mean, I think back to, thinking of who they faced so far in Omaha, I don't think there's a lineup that can compare to LSU's. It's not as much as he's a real deal pitcher. 109 strikeouts is legit. This is the best lineup he's going to face. I have a whole lot of confidence in what these LSU bats are going to be able to do, but I do think that this is going to be a very, very good pitch game, and that's not just tonight. I think the series overall. But don't forget, we will have our guy at Inside LSU Baseball on Twitter will join us to give some numbers to us, his thoughts, his opinions going into LSU versus Coastal Carolina tonight. These are two teams, like I've said, that are constructed very similarly, which is what's going to cause for really good baseball this weekend, where you have LSU and Coastal Carolina dominant pitching, clean defense, and they capitalize on mistakes. So if you're walking a batter or hit by pitch, an error, all of those things are going to play a factor. A lot like when we talked about Arkansas. Like when we were talking about Arkansas going into this series, the College World Series, the thought process was Arkansas, Root, Wood, excellent pitchers. They're going to capitalize on mistakes. It's who's going to make the mistakes. In game one against Arkansas, it was Arkansas. They had a handful of mistakes. They had an error earlier in the game. They had the Milam double where I thought they could have got him, stopped him at first. He probably doesn't score off the Curiel single after that. And then obviously the last game, game number 3 against LSU, the left fielder takes one off the shoulder. They have the failed flip to the pitcher to get him out at first. And then they go with a out at third instead of trying to turn a double play. Just a handful of those mistakes. That's what happens. Coastal Carolina won like that as well. Like I said yesterday against Arizona, they scored their first 2 runs in the game in the bottom of the second after single, error on a bunt, 2 RBI single. Against Oregon State, first batter reaches on error, then a walk, then a hit by pitch, then a base clearing double with 2 outs. And then against Louisville, single, hit by pitch, 2 RBI.
You did it twice. You did that yesterday.
What?
You said hit by bitch.
I said hit by pitch.
It did sound like the girl dog, but keep going.
Now I lost my train of thought.
You said the same thing.
Both teams are capitalizing.
Just don't want it to become a habit.
It's not. Next time, call me out after I finish my thought so I don't lose my train of thought.
You're talking about how opportunistic Coastal is and their ability to take advantage of errors that LSU defensively doesn't seem like they've made all year. You've had one of the best, if not the best, defensive team in LSU history and one of the best defensive teams in the sport this year.
Right. Where
you go across, and this is where a conversation that I think that we should probably start having. There's been a big push for Brazwell. There's been a big push for what his offensive woes have been and how you need to rally around the cat. But then you see the interview yesterday. He goes, I don't know how many opportunities I'm going to get. They have nothing but righties. And so when it becomes a right-handed pitcher, it's a start.
Really?
I do.
I agree.
Do you think he moves it all in the lineup?
No. He's sticking at 9. I just think the defense is too important. Lloyd, is that your point as well?
Yeah, I just think early in the game to have somebody settle into where you can't have something like that happen. Like Tanner Reeves has looked better at third. He really has. And this is a guy that came to LSU as a second baseman. He's playing out of position. And they're they couldn't be more polar opposite positions on the field of second base and third base. It gets on you quick. Everything happens fast, as opposed to second where you have a lot of range to be able to make a play. You have a lot more time to be able to make a play. The field looks totally different. For him to be able to try to make that transition, you can see why the errors happen. Because if you bobble once, it's the Skip Bertman.
Yeah.
It's 90 feet. And you get to see that at third base. If you bobble one, that's the difference between safe and out.
Yes.
And you can see Tanner Reeves try to kind of speed up that process because he knows if I don't catch it clean, I have to go quick, and that could lead to an overthrow, underthrow, side to side, and now you're looking at what would have been an out turns into a double. And so that's why I think you keep Brazwell in there, let him see, at least steady the ship defensively. You know what you're getting. You've seen Noah's referenced the double plays a ton, and he should, because there's merit to that of being able to turn a double play from third to second to first. Doesn't happen a lot in college baseball, and LSU has done it routinely. I do think there's a world where you give him one time through the lineup, maybe 2 at-bats, and you've seen Jay go quickly, whether it is Tanner Reeves or Pearson, to come in and be able, and it could be a double switch where you put Pearson in to get him in at bat. Then he put Reeves in the field, and we've seen Pearson work. And this is just from going to practice. This is why we do it. Nobody has taken more ground balls at third base than Pearson.
Yeah.
Every single day he's out there. And I don't think that's by mistake. I think that's by design. I think they want him to be able to feel comfortable enough to play the position if he has to for an inning or two.
Yeah.
Like, that's something to keep an eye on, just because if he wasn't going to do it, he's not doing it for next year. He's doing it for now. And you continue to see him out there. He's the only one, pretty much, whether it's during BP, he'll go out there and take fungo, or he'll go out there and field his position when they're not hitting fungo. Like, he's putting in extra effort just in case they put him out there and they feel like he can field the spot. It does look like he looks like a natural over there.
Yeah, no, he looks comfortable.
And
go ahead.
Yeah, no, if that's something that happens, have full confidence in his ability to field the spot. But that said, I just think it's a start Brazzy type of game. Let him get one or two at bats to let your defense settle in, so you don't have that early jolt of, oh God, they're going right at the third baseman.
Right.
Be lay a bunt down, try to get it over to him, or it just finds you sometimes, because that's how baseball works. It finds the tight butthole. Whenever you're nervous and you're out there, and it's like it finds you. And you saw it happen against Arkansas. It found the left fielder. Like,
right.
No matter what, if you're the guy that's nervous out there, somehow the ball always finds you. And so that's why I think you settle in, give Kade the defense he's used to having behind him, let him get comfortable, and then it becomes in the fourth inning, and he struck out, 8, and it's like, okay, it doesn't matter who's at third. And now you put in some instant offense if you need it, whether it be Pearson or Tanner Reeves.
Well, I think another layer to that would be, because I do think they're going to stick with Brazzy as well.
Yeah,
I think it's just
and I won't be mad either way.
No,
I
but
just think my gut tells me
right now, not allowing mistakes to happen is of too much importance.
Yeah,
and especially
you
in
can
this
get offense
series.
from other places. You've proven to win that way all year.
And the way I think it's going to probably play out would be something like Brazwell's going to go, and if he comes up in the order and he's still struggling and there's runners on base, I think Ashton Larson gets the nod. If it's still a righty on the mound, I think if there's runners on base, Brazwell, even if it's in the third or fourth.
You've seen it happen early.
Like, I think they would make the change there to give Ashton Larson the go to swing the bat as a lefty against a right-handed pitcher.
I love that call.
Because that's just how I foresee it happening. Now, if he struggles throughout the game, Brazwell does, maybe they make a swap for Reeves to just go to fill it out. But I think defense is going to be so important at the start of this game. You're going to roll with your guy in Brazwell, who's played such good defense all year. And if he can give you something at the dish, whether it's sacrifice bunts, sacrifice flies, like something that's net positive for the team.
Work the count.
Yes, and then if there is an opportunity where it's 2-1, 1 out, or 2-1, 2 outs, Brazwell gets pulled, you go Ashton Larson against Flukey, who's a big righty, and give him the chance to go.
Love that call.
Jay's already he's already won the College World Series with the black hole in the lineup. Jordan Thompson was on the same struggle bus. He ended up breaking through, but he was trusted at shortstop defensively, and I just don't see Jay sacrificing defense for offense with the lineup the way it is right now.
Especially against this team. Like, this team in particular, where they are a lot like you, where they want to capitalize on your mistakes. Like, LSU made Arkansas pay for the mistakes they made in Game 1 and Game 3. Like, all year, they've capitalized on mistakes. Tennessee, bottom of the ninth, capitalizing on mistakes. The third baseman airmails it over the first baseman's head. Then he bobbles it. Then there's a walk. West Virginia, they have the fielding error on Dickinson's pop-up into the shallow center or wherever. Then you have a 4-pitch walk, hit by pitch. They capitalize on those things.
That pressure gets on you
and
so
Coastal
fast.
Carolina is the same way.
And West Virginia was the same way.
Right. But West Virginia's not as good of a team. Like,
No,
just from the
but
horses
that was
standpoint.
whenever we broke down West Virginia. It was like, do not allow them the opportunity to get free passes, free opportunities.
Chaos.
Yeah, on base, because it feels like whenever one happens, it's like that's what they're looking for to be the spark of the offense. Like, okay, this is how it happens. For LSU, it's the same thing, but you also have guys that can absolutely leave at any point. And I don't know if the way that Omaha is going to play today with the wind blowing the way that it is, but what we saw at BP yesterday, like that didn't seem to matter. Like, if they touch one, like Jake Brown has some power, and like that, you just hasn't seen all of it yet.
Right.
But he sent 2 or 3 out in a row that were deep. And you saw Pearson do the same thing where it's like, good Lord.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Braswell was swinging it well when he was getting work in.
They had probably 6 balls in a row off the wall.
Yeah, like they were barreling up baseballs.
And I do think that there's some merit to that for Brazzy, like to be able to get some solid swings, find the barrel, find some confidence, because this is the thing. And I think everybody's seen it with him and his approach at the plate, is it feels like he's in between of trying to either draw a free pass, not knowing if I should put a bunt down at any point, or if I should swing away and go be aggressive. He's caught in between all three of those things. Even like when he tried to get the bunt down in the previous game where he pops it up, and it's just like, you know
you don't go down there to get that bunt.
You know better than to go, but it's it's such a mental battle he's up there battling with, where it's, I know I'm supposed to bunt, all I have to do is get a bunt down, all I have to do is get a bunt down, next pitch I'm bunting it. And he went all the way down. That's textbook of things, like that's exactly how you don't bunt.
Right.
It's like you don't dip the barrel, you don't do any of those things to where there's any angle that you can create where it goes straight up in the air. Like you let that one pass and you get on top of one and you just try to push it to either direction. And you can see, like, if you're doing that, that's a man that's kind of trying to still figure it out, and he's trying too hard. And so I do think there's a world in which you put him out there and go swing away right now. If he's going to come fastball at you, go get it.
Right.
And if you look like a fool swinging at soft speed, who gives a shit? Like, if I want to see, go swing at the first three pitches. And whatever you do, have the mindset of attack. And then you can go away going, okay, at least I felt confident in the plan that you had with me today.
Or if he goes out and it's a grounder to short.
Something.
A hard hit chop, a fly ball to center, like
just the ball in play.
Well, just put a barrel on it.
Yeah.
Like just give you because then the next time you'll time it up a little bit better, or they won't pitch to you the exact same way. Like need those sorts of steps, and I think that he's going to continue. He's going to get the nod. I think Jake Brown obviously is going to be in right field as a lefty, but would you be surprised if there is a Josh Pearson play today, just in the moment? The experienced guy. Like, would you be surprised? I mean, still a lefty bat against a right-handed pitcher. Would you be surprised? Because, in my opinion, I think it's still going to be Jake Brown's game, just because he's been so clutch and massively at the plate. But it's Josh Pearson. Like, that's the only reason where it kind of throws a wrench into it somewhat.
Yeah, I think you revert back to the mean of righty lefty, don't overcomplicate it. You don't have to go gut feel here. It's not a game 3. Obviously, you want to win game 1, but Jake Brown has been so good in these moments, and that's an internal conversation they have to have with who feels better coming off the bench. It feels like Pearson doesn't care.
Right.
Like, give me an opportunity. If there's a lefty, I'll go play. And then you've even seen Jay kind of press pause on that a little bit throughout the College World Series of, we're not going straight to him. I'll let Pearson get one more AB.
Yeah.
And so I get what you're saying, but I just feel like Brown has been kind of around this thing so much, where last year he has obviously something that you would want back, and he knows the moment and he knows what happened, and it wasn't an easy catch, but he still knows what happened to Arkansas has happened to him, and and he's had an entire year to grow off of that. And I've talked to him about it, and it's been one of those things where you take a moment and you get better from it, as opposed to make that who your identity is. Nobody was more equipped to handle that. We didn't really know him last year. We interviewed him, we talked to him. He was not the Jake Brown that you have right now that is clearly the heartbeat. He's the Kevin Millar of the baseball team. He's one of those guys where it's cowboy up. It's all that stuff. If we're going to shave heads, let's shave heads. If we're going to go mustache, let's go mustache. But he's somebody that you just absolutely have to have around. And I don't think he cares if he starts or not, but just the mentality of a 1,000%, I don't give a fuck, plays huge for LSU, and it makes everybody else around you play so much looser.
He's almost the embodiment of a new Will Helmers, Beloso type, where it's just
a Milazzo
team personality,
right?
Team,
and it just whenever he's around, it makes you feel better about how the team plays. And he's got the talent to boot, which is an ultimate kind of guy you want in the foxhole.
Yeah.
Not only are you making me confident what I'm about to do, but you can also shoot the lights out of it too.
Jonathan Villa in the chat. I write Wiggle 34 Switchblade for the state championship.
I love all y'all,
baby. I love it. Shout out to our guy Jonathan in the chat. Appreciate you, brother. We have got our guy Jason from @InsideLSU Baseball on Twitter joining us live to break down LSU versus Coastal Carolina. Jason, how's it going?
I'm doing good, guys. How about y'all?
We're doing well. We appreciate you taking the time to join us to talk some LSU baseball. First off, What are your thoughts with the decision on both ends? Starting pitchers, obviously Cam Flukey for Coastal Carolina and Kade Anderson for LSU.
I mean, it's what I expected. I mean, I did see some people online talking about that they were surprised that Jacob Morrison wasn't going game one, but I didn't. I mean, I believe he threw like 110 pitches on Wednesday, so I didn't think that we would see him. This is kind of what I expected to see Flukey game one, and then just based on the rest, Kade Anderson seems like the guy. I mean, that's your guy. You want to start with him, and I know y'all mentioned it, and we've all seen the stat now, but Coastal just doesn't. They can strike out against left-handed pitching, and we happen to have a good one.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's the best in the country. Cameron Flukey, as a pitcher, who is he? Who is LSU going to be facing tonight? Obviously, they go with them. He's not their go-to ace. Morrison is. But what does Flukey have against the Tigers tonight?
I mean, look, he's a big 6'5" guy who throws, probably of the two between him and Morrison is probably the one that throws a little harder. He can get up to the mid to upper 90s, got the slider. I would probably say between the two starters that they have, I mean, they've got three, but those are the two big pro prospects are going to be Flukey and Morrison. I think Flukey might be, more of like the stuff, have better stuff of the two, whereas Morrison's a better pitcher at this stage of the game. But look, they're going to get a guy who's going to be pumping, mid 90s with the good sliders. Kind of got a little herky jerky wind up when nobody's on base. That can be a little distracting maybe. But listen, this is the thing about this LSU offense. They have seen big arms the entire year. I mean, look, you talk about a team that has beaten, games started by Liam Doyle, Kyson Witherspoon, Pico Cone. The list goes on and on and on. What's the guy? Zach Root, Gage Wood. I mean, you're talking about 7 or 8 or 9 guys that are elite pitchers. That Jared Spencer from Texas. So facing a really good starter is not something that is going to rattle LSU one bit.
This lineup that Coastal Carolina has 1 through 9, they hit the ball well. Not a lot of power. They have not hit a home run in Omaha yet. What are some of the challenges that they will bring against LSU tonight?
So, challenges, I mean, they're playing with confidence, and that's important. So when you think you can hit, you can hit. And you see that on the flip side. You ask, how does a guy like Michael Brazwell hit 311 in the best conference in the world one year, and the next year he's hitting 190? He didn't forget how to hit. But a lot of it's just mental, and confidence is a big thing. I think they're playing with that. I think that, they're gonna get on base with the hit by pitches. That's not something that is a fluke. They've been doing it all year. I think they just set an all-time record for getting hit the most in a single year. They've stolen over 100 bases. So I think that when I look at their lineup, though, there's two guys. It is Caden Bodine and it is Blake Barthel. These are two guys that for 3 years now have been extremely good players, okay? Blake Barthel, I think on the year, he's only hitting around like 280. I think he leads the team with 12 home runs, but he was a freshman All-American in 2023. He's hit over 300 the last 2 years, so his average is down a little bit this year. But those are the two guys that, in normal wind conditions, are guys that could put a ball, out the yard at any time. I think the rest of the lineup, I mean, it's guys that are going to take advantage. If you get behind in counts, they can ambush you. I think the 2-hole hitter, Sebastian's pretty good. I think he's got 10 homers on the year. He's .300 hitter, hits from the right side. I think he's a pretty good hitter. The ones that have been really hot here lately in Omaha are going to be the left-handed hitting first baseman Thorndike. He's a good hitter, or at least I think he's 5 for 12 in the College World Series. So he's a guy who can hit. And then Dean Mijos was a guy that I believe was their center fielder early on. He was like started the year towards the as one of their main players, and he's gotten hurt. Like he hasn't played. I think he's just starting to play again in Omaha. But Mijos is a guy who can swing it. Hitting 320, like 320-ish on the year. His power numbers don't look great because, again, he's missed some time. But those are two guys, Thorndike and Mijos, that have been really, really hot here lately in the College World Series. But, out of the 8 teams, when you look at the 8 teams that came to Omaha, I mean, Coastal Carolina was dead last, 8th out of 8 in slugging, 7th in, walk percentage. We've already talked about the striking out a lot. And I mean, in 3 games in Omaha, they've struck out 10 times, 12 times, and 7 times. They've only hit 66 home runs on the year. So that's dead last out of the 8 teams. So they don't have one hitter with an OPS over 1,000 on the year. And just for reference, both like LSU and Arkansas both have 3 or 4 guys that have a OPS over 1,000. So, but they are swinging the bat good in Omaha. I mean, they've been hitting the ball in the 3 games. They scored 24 runs on 30 hits in 3 games. They're batting 300. So I think you're going to see just an opportunistic offense that I'm not going to say it's a perfect example, but they remind me more like a Kentucky offense. A team that might have like 1 star on it, whether it was a couple of years ago or last year and I wouldn't say last year because that was a really good offense, but you go 2 years ago, Kentucky, or even this past year, you're not going to know a lot of their names, but they're guys that can step up and any of them can hurt you in the right moment.
Yeah, and you put out the numbers earlier today and hinted at it before in one of your other answers. Coastal Carolina ranks 267th out of 307 Division I teams in strikeout rate versus left-handed pitching. And Kade Anderson is obviously the best lefty in the country and will be on the mound tonight. What are your expectations for LSU's ace against this Coastal Carolina lineup?
I mean, I like Kade Anderson against the Yankees. So he's just time and time again. It doesn't matter. I mean, we go into these games talking about, all the sluggers in Tennessee's lineup and the potential first round picks, and then it's Arkansas, and then it's A&M. It doesn't really matter. I mean, the guy can pitch, and I'm gonna, I've got confidence in him no matter what. So I mean, I think it's important. Now, this is the thing. I think Coastal Carolina has to have certain things happen for them to be successful in this series. I think LSU can win a variety of ways. But I think that their main thing is going to be to try to drive his pitch count up, and hopefully he's not in the game, in the 7th inning. Because if we're looking at number 32 out on the mound in the 7th inning, I think that that's not going to bode too well for Coastal. Now that's the good news. Okay. On the flip side of that stat is that outside of Kade Anderson, there's not a lot of lefties running out there for LSU. Okay, you got Cooper Williams, who's really emerged as the main left-handed pitcher, but it's mostly right-handed pitchers for LSU. So that is something that, you take advantage of the strikeouts tonight. And, while you've got the lefty out there on the hill, and it's not like they don't strike out. I mean, they're still against right-handed pitching. Coastal still, their strikeout rate's like 112th in the nation. So they do strike out some, but you certainly have a big advantage tonight.
And when you talk about Kade Anderson and his ability to pitch and what he's done, a lot of people have seen it and noticed it, that he likes to go inside. Coastal Carolina obviously loves to be able to take pitches inside, try to get a hit by pitch, try to get on base any way they can. Which dam do you think breaks first? Kade Anderson, his ability to go inside, or Coastal not being able to take pitches inside, not getting the benefit of the doubt, having the challenges that happen in college baseball? Do you think that plays a factor at all?
Well, I think that Kade's good enough to where if he sees early on that he's not able to get inside, or maybe he's missing, or they're wearing a couple, or maybe he's not, the strike zone doesn't behoove him to go inside. He's good enough to start pitching, other places, down, up, outside. So that's the, if that's all that Coastal is really banking on is crowding the plate and hoping they can wear a couple. I don't think that's, I don't think that's a great, I don't think that's a great game plan. But look, anything can happen. I mean, Coastal's certainly good enough to go out there and get some swings off and maybe they're looking for a certain pitch. And I just think Kade Anderson, the biggest difference between him this year and last year is the ability to throw multiple pitches, two different types of breaking balls, more of a changeup this year. And so he's not a Liam Doyle, right? That like you take away his fastball and now you got a big advantage over him.
And speaking of, you said a little bit about if you saw Kade Anderson into the seventh. I didn't know where you were going with that in terms of if it was bad for LSU. I think Cade's last start in the purple and gold, being able to pitch for LSU on this kind of stage where Louisiana kid wants to be in this spot. I mean, there's a world in which you don't take him out until he could go in a perfect world. Like you're throwing him until he's cooked, right? Like it could be a complete game, it could be 7, but he's going to stay out there and battle for as long as you need him to, because this, with all intents and purposes, it's his last time pitching for LSU.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, and maybe I didn't make that clear. What I meant is that's a bad sign for Coastal.
Yeah,
because Coastal's hopes is that let's get Kade Anderson out of here, after 5 1/3, and make him go to Shores and use Evans and get into that bullpen later in the, so that they, have at least a perceived advantage, because, the last thing they want is to lose a game, 5-1, and it's, Kade Anderson for 7 2/3 and Chase Shores for 1 2/3. So that's just, sets them up. And that's why I think also this, the way that LSU won on Wednesday night was monument. First of all, that was one of the craziest things I've ever witnessed in my life. I'm just now getting my voice back. But it was such a big deal. And the way that what it did is, first of all, I loved LSU's chance. If LSU drops that game, I mean, I don't know what Arkansas was going to do the next day, because I mean, Gabe Gackle, I think, is getting surgery today as we speak. All the pitches he threw, but I just don't know what they were going to be set up with, while LSU was going to have everybody back, Anderson, Einstein back for that next winner take all game. But more importantly, by winning that game, they are set up, and both teams are, for just best on best. And it's not just that Kade Anderson and Anthony Einstein are fully rested. What I loved so much about the way that played out is because you have those two rested, but now guess what? Zach Collins back in the circle of trust.
Yep.
Jaden Newt's back. Jacob Myers. I think that we might overlook this, but I can't stop talking about Jaden Newt. I can't stop talking about Jacob Myers, because what that did is just maybe they needed to remind some people, hey, look, we're here too. We're good here too. You don't have to sell out or try to throw Chase Shores every game or lean too much on one guy. We're here. I mean, Jaden Newt comes into the I think it was the 6th inning with a runner on base and 1 out. I think it's a 1-0 game at that point. He gets Ryder Helfrich, who is an unbelievable hitter, to fly out, and then he strikes out Cam Kojal, who is a very, very dangerous hitter. So you get out of that inning with the 1-0. You're still down 1-0, but I don't know that most people expected Newt to go back out in the 7th, but he goes out there and gets Kahia Aloy, the DH guy, to ground out, which set up, Chase Shores to come in and strike out the next 2 hitters. So I thought that was a very good job by Jaden Newton. Then you look at Jacob Myers. I mean, he enters the 9th inning with runners on 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. And look, sure, he gave up. He threw the hanging, the breaking ball, and I don't know how Thomas was sitting on that, but he got a good swing on. Got a good swing off. So the 2-run score, and I get that. But after that first pitch that he gave up, I mean, look, we've seen Myers all year, and he's a different pitcher today than he was, a couple of months ago. We've watched him not be able to throw a strike, hit the backstop a couple of times. I mean, we've seen that from him. And the way that Myers rebounded from that is all he did was go out there and strike out Davalon, and then he strikes out Vahiba Aloy. So he held the line right there instead of imploding and walking a couple of guys, and maybe we got to, bring somebody else in, and maybe the moment's too big and they give up a run. Jacob Myers held it right there at 5-3, and I think that's big. It allowed us to come back. And so now as we go into this series, we've got everybody rested, and we've got a couple of guys that have reminded Coach, hey, you can count on us in the biggest stage.
Looking into tonight, what are your expectations, score predictions, thoughts as LSU and Coastal Carolina get it started in the College World Series Finals tonight at 6?
Oh, man. I'm not real good at scores because
over-under's at 8.5. LSU
yeah,
favorite. Minus 1.5.
So I think that still to this day, LSU's offense is a little disrespected.
Yep.
I think that the way that they are swinging it is, I mean, they're scoring in their last two at-bats of the game. Okay, so you're talking about the 8th and 9th, or in one of the games, I think it was against UCLA, one of them, they didn't need to bat in the 9th. Okay, so I'm talking about the 7th and the 8th. But the last two half innings that LSU's had, yeah. Over 3 games, right? So that's 6 innings. They scored 5 of them. So they're scoring late in games right now. I mean, the days of like LSU scoring a couple early in the game and then they, go into the witness protection program until the game runs out, like that's gone. And I don't think Gabe Gackle is volunteering to pick up with Coastal Carolina. So I think we're safe there, So I just believe in this offense right now. I think that the way that Monster Milam has turned it around the postseason has been just huge. Derek Curiel, Jake Brown might be the best hitter on the team right now. I mean, what Barrett Jones is doing, Luis Hernandez has a hit in all 3 College World Series games, and even bigger than that, he's a guy that's been prone to strikeouts. He's only struck out 1 time in 3 games and he's been on base 3 times by either hit by pitches or walks. I just think that there's so many guys that, can contribute for LSU. So I like the offense, and I say all that because, I mean, I could see a situation where LSU wins this game 8-3, something like that. Like, that wouldn't surprise me. I know with 2 good pitchers, but I think Flukey might have given up a little. He was either a little wild or came in at a relief, gave up a couple runs. It's not like, Coastal's pitchers, you're not going to score on them. I mean, they've given up some runs outside of Jacob Morrison. They've got good ERAs, but this is LSU, man.
It don't matter what happens the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th. That offense is coming at some point.
Yes, it is.
We appreciate your time today as we get ready for tonight. Enjoy the game, and thank you very much.
You bet, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Sounds good. Thank you. We'll talk again soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Yep.
Great information.
There's our guy, Jason Armstrong from Inside LSU Baseball,
Follow
at Inside LSU Baseball on Twitter.
Follow him on Twitter.
Subscribe to his YouTube channel.
Yes.
The Inside LSU Baseball podcast. That was really good information there.
We'll keep it up for a couple seconds here.
There you go. That's the logo. Jason Armstrong, our guy from Inside LSU Baseball. Great information. But, yeah, no, I mean.
We need him and Justin Babbitt Jr. to do a first take at each other. Just number versus number versus number versus number.
They would just be agreeing.
They would just be best friends.
Yeah, they would just be agreeing.
I'd like to see a debate. If they disagree
what are they
going to
debate? They all like the same thing.
Well, the
Babbitt.
The Reeves-Brazwell situation. I could see Justin liking Reeves more than Braswell.
Yeah, he's probably looking at the numbers.
Yeah. But great stuff there.
Justin needs to learn how to coach with his gut a little bit.
Too much brain.
Too much analytics, too many numbers, too much money ball.
He needs emotion.
But
can y'all hear me? Sorry, I don't get like this often.
That was awesome. Shout out to our guy Justin.
Do you think there was one person more excited to be able to go live at that moment than Justin Babin Jr.?
No,
Like
not
to
even
actually
us.
No, I mean I was as fired up as you can be. But
Yeah, I was excited to get on the microphone.
But for him, I'm excited to get on the microphone every time we do it.
Amen, brother.
But for him to have like, oh shit, and I get to go talk to people about this instead of just
was
talking
so
to my
excited.
dad. Because that's how we were. It's like, oh shit, that's why my brother continues to call me 15 times. Like, Sean, I have to go do a show.
Yep.
He's like, well, I don't like that. I'd rather you talk to me. I was like, well, just tune in. But like that, it was before the pods. That's what it was. It was friends and family that are like, you hop on the phone with probably 15 different people,
Yes.
and you're just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and that's all you do. And now we get the voices to kinfolk, the masses, all the people that
You know
want to
it.
tune in, Paul
You know
Zarang,
it.
all the guys that are helping us out. And we just provide the platform for y'all to be able to have your same takes out there.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what we love. We love to get inside the chat, answer the questions, be able to provide whatever insight we think we can.
Taking calls when we can.
Yes.
We could.
Yeah, no, but super excited for tonight. I think Jason
Airbnb.
is dead on with the offense. Like I really think
It's been
that-
underrated.
Well, I think right now the storyline going in, and rightfully so, is going to be that of a pitcher's duel. Like
Yeah.
I think that's and I get like it should be. That should be the storyline.
It's just
I think LSU's lineup 1 through 9 has been so good so far in Omaha. They are built to be good in Omaha, and I see that continuing tonight.
yeah, you've seen the emergence, and Armstrong hit it on the head with like Stephen Wylam getting back to form and what he does well. That changes the dynamic of how LSU plays. Jake Brown being able to what he called maybe the best hitter in LSU's lineup, and that's not far-fetched, whether it's drawing a walk, working a count, being able to hit for power, being able to hit in the gaps. Like, he's done everything you've asked of him, and it's been kind of there all year, but now he's putting it all together, and now you have Bear, like, 0 for 5. He might do it again. Like, that's just something that's part of
Right.
his game, wherever he's going out there and being aggressive, and if he gets fooled, he gets fooled. Go back to the dugout. It clearly doesn't carry on from game to game, like we said. And then you can still go Daniel Dickinson, probably the most, solid
Steady.
from a 65-game standpoint at this juncture, where it feels like he gets you one or two. If it's not a hit, it's a quality at bat, or he drops a bunt down, he draws a walk, he gets hit by a pitch. He does something right every part of the game, and then you still have, whether it be Pearson or Curiel at the top or bottom of the lineup, to be able to fluctuate him that way has been impressive, because as somebody that felt like he took over the leadoff spot, that could be kind of a spit in my face. We're like, what do you mean? I've been doing this great all year. Instead, it's the exact opposite. Whatever it takes to help the team win. And then Luis Hernandez, probably the biggest out of all of them. Because when you get something from Luis Hernandez, I would love the stats of LSU's wins when Luis Hernandez either gets on base or gets a hit.
Yeah.
Because they're probably pretty good.
No, definitely. No, I'm with you. That would be a great number. Lineup predictions.
But the reason you look at, real quick, because I do want to get into
Yeah.
that. The reason you look at pitching first is because the pitching has been so dominant.
On both sides.
Yeah, on both. Oh, sure, on both
Yeah.
sides, but just in LSU in general, it's like,
Yeah.
it's Kade Anderson. Well, he's not going to give up X. It's Anthony Einstein. Well, he's not. So it's just like you don't really need the offense to have to carry you through games. But when you get both, buddy, that's how you end up in the College World
Yeah, I
Series
mean,
final.
when you get both, you get
Wins.
Tennessee Game 3, which was a 10-run rule. You
Arkansas.
get Arkansas Game 2,
10-run
10-run
rule.
Like that's when you get both. That's what it looks like.
Becomes so hard to beat.
It's the best. It's the best team in the country.
That's what we've been saying all year. Like when they put complementary baseball and they play it all together, it becomes such a wagon of a team to have to play, because it comes at you in waves on both sides, where whether they have a quick inning on offense and don't score anything, then they have a quick change again from the pitching staff, where it's like, okay, 12 pitches, you're back out there. Then LSU puts together an inning and has to make the pitcher wait on the other end of like, it's been 18, 22, 25 pitches of me out here, and then LSU would come back again and get 12 straight.
Right.
And it's just like, fuck, I have to go back out again? Like, I just labored out here for 30 pitches, gave up 3 runs, and now I'm back on the bump again. Like, that's how LSU gets you. Now you're tired. And now you don't know what you want to do, how to pick and choose. LSU will draw a walk. LSU will continue to put that pressure on you. And that's why the runners in scoring position stat has been such a thing that fans have circled, is because you had runners in scoring position all the time.
Right. Well, and from what you've seen in Omaha,
2 out hitting.
I haven't heard much about that stat
Because they've capitalized.
because they've continued to capitalize. I think this offense.
It's the hardest stat in baseball to it's the hardest one to get right.
And I think this offense is in such a good spot, the rhythm that they've been in, and then right now you're set up from a pitching standpoint on both sides, LSU and Coastal, because both teams only had to play 3 games, 3-0 going into this one. But just from LSU's standpoint, you are in such a good position.
Yeah, you're
from
set up
a pitching
for a weekend
standpoint.
series.
You're set up where
You're set up for a
everything's
weekend series.
available.
Yeah.
Like it's
And
as good as it gets.
That's where
man.
Jason was right, because you couldn't have asked for it to work out better. Because that's why that Arkansas win was not only a fever dream, like unbelievable, but when you look on the back end of it, like thank God, because now you
on paper.
On paper, now you're set up for, like I said, now this is just a weekend series against the
Clean
baseball
slate.
team. Yeah, you get to start exactly on schedule everybody that you want to play.
Yep. Like Carl Dunn said in the chat, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys joining us. But, yeah, no, I think from a pitching standpoint, it's lined up as good as you could get on both ends. Like, both sides are ready to throw their guys. They've got their bullpens ready to go. And I think from LSU's standpoint, we've talked about the number 8, like wanting to have 8 pitchers. I think you're at the point where you can rattle off those 8 guys. Like, even going into the College World Series, especially right now when you can go Anderson, Ianson, Evans, Shores, Newt, Myers, Cowan,
Williams.
And I'm probably forgetting a handful, but to me, those are your 8. Like, those are the 8 guys.
Those are 8 that were pretty easy to get to.
Like, rattled them off easy. Now, they have their roles. Like, Myers is not a member of this 8 that's going to extend
he's not
for
gonna
4
give
innings.
You 4 1/3.
But he has
Cowan
his job.
is.
Cowan can do that. Evans can do that. Shores can do. Like, you've got your 8, and it's set up well for LSU this
game
weekend.
Is huge. You would love to see Kade do exactly what.
Oh, CG.
That would be.
That's my mindset going into this game.
That's his mindset.
100%. See Kade Anderson throw a complete game. Like, last time donning the jersey, the way it ended in Alec box was not pretty. He did his job. He won the game. Wasn't pretty.
No, it wasn't the send-off that everybody,
Balled out against Arkansas, but the numbers weren't anything that jumped out at you. I think this is the one where it's like, my name is Kade Anderson. I'm the best pitcher in the country, and you're about to see why. And then that's what happens.
And he's given me nothing but his attitude and his demeanor is a shit of, like, don't care. You have to hit me.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like whenever he toes the rubber. It's just like, I know what I have. Come get it.
Let's go.
I don't have to change anything that I do because I've added a second pitch, a third pitch, a fourth pitch that I throw all of them with confidence. And whenever he gets into an absolute rhythm, it just becomes stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down next. And it is something that guy is absolutely dialed in to what he's doing on the mound. And even when he struggles, quote unquote struggles, it still is a gritty 6 1/3, 5 1/3, where he got you 8 strikeouts and maybe gave up 2 or 3. You should still win that baseball game.
Yeah.
He did enough to get you a win.
Yeah.
But there's also the other side of it where it's 150, 9 innings, 12 strikeouts, 1 earned maybe. And you're just like, oh, God, thank you, Kade Anderson.
Here's Kade Anderson.
LSU baseball is going on number 8. And, that's what kind of LSU baseball is all about. It's not a one-man deal. You need a whole team to win. So just rooting on my guys when I'm not on the mound. And when I'm on the mound, just giving them all I got.
Amen.
What more do you need to hear?
What more do you need to hear? Rooting them on when I'm not on the mound, but when I'm on the mound.
Yeah, that's what, after he finished off at, the Arkansas series, whenever he pitched his first game, did his deal, did exactly what you needed. Like, what do you do now? He's like, I got the best seat in the house next to Gavin Guidry. Like, I don't have to do anything. I can't wait to sit on the top step and root the boys on, like, battle for the aux cord.
LSU versus Coastal Carolina tonight at 6 p.m.
I can't believe it's tonight, finally. It feels like it's been 80 hours.
These past 2 days have been crazy, just waiting for this to happen. LSU, Coastal Carolina, tonight at 6. LSU's final trek on their way to number 8 starts tonight.
Let's go, boys.
6 p.m. in the Chuck. We are in Omaha. We are going to head to the stadium right now. I could run through a wall.
Juggernaut.
Give me your lineup predictions before we close it out and get full hype mode for the College World Series Finals. Christian, let's hear it. You go first.
Uriel.
Last game, you had Curiel, Fry, Milam, Hernandez, Jones, Pearson, Stanfield, Dickinson, Brazwell. I think this changes a little bit. I think you'll see Derek Curiel. I think you'll see the same 5. But I think
Same first 5?
Jake Brown. I think Stanfield moves behind Dickinson into the 8th spot. Dickinson now batting 7th. And then, I think he stays with Brazwell in the 9-hole.
So let's hear it. Go 1 through 9. Name the names.
Curiel, Fry, Milam, Hernandez, Jones.
Okay.
I think Milam and Jones switch. I think Jared Jones goes 3-hole. I think Milam goes 5-hole.
Back-to-back Fry and Jones.
This is just pure guess. I don't know why I'm guessing this. But I think you see Jake Brown at the 6-hole, and I think you see Stanfield and Dickinson switch. So Stanfield would be your 8-hole hitter, and Dickinson would be your 7-hole hitter. And then Brazwell, your 9-hole hitter.
Yeah,
That's
I'm down
what,
with that.
That's what I'm rocking with. I don't have a good reason as to why. That's just what I'm feeling, but I think I've got a pretty good feel
So
on the
you
pulse.
went
So
Curiel, Fry.
Curiel, Fry, Jones, Hernandez, Milam, Jake Brown, Dickinson, Stanfield, Brazwell.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, I'm going to go
What did you see him get moved around the most?
This is the lineup
That was
from last game. Give me Curiel leadoff, obviously. And I think Curiel, Fry. I think I agree with Christian. I think Jared has got himself back in the let's go Fry, Jared.
So what was it the previous game?
It was
Milam in the
Milam, Hernandez, then Jones. Yes. I think it's going to go Fry, Jones, Milam, Hernandez.
Yeah, that's been the jostle spot.
Yes. And then I think you have Jake Brown behind Hernandez, and then it's Dickinson, Stanny, Brazwell. I think we might have the same exact lineup, but
Dickinson, Stanny, Yep, we do.
I'm going
That's a good lineup.
Curiel, Fry, Jones, Milam, Hernandez, Brown, Dickinson, Stanfield, Brazwell.
No McPaul. Interesting.
I might switch Hernandez and Brown.
Okay. Fonz, Curiel, Fry, Monster, Jones, Papi, Brown, Dickinson, Stanny, Brazzy.
Yep.
So that's the same
It's
one
like
I have,
It's
but
like 2 or 3 guys.
flip-flopped
one or two
Monster
get
and Jones.
flipped.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would love, but on top of that, I would like
I
Stanfield
would love.
back in the 9-hole. Like I would
Me
not
too.
hate going Stanny back in 9-hole.
I would, but he's been good, man.
He has been, regardless of where he's been really good. So it's game time, fellas. I got one more thing I want to play for y'all real quick before we close it out.
Just as student athletes and fans of baseball, what do you like about the Tigers?
Not a whole lot.
Let's ride. Kade Anderson on the mound. LSU versus Coastal Carolina
I wouldn't
tonight.
like him either.
We'll give you something to not like. LSU, Coastal Carolina, tonight at 6. We are, 2 hours and 53 minutes away from first pitch. Watch the pinky.
Whoa, safe.
Let's go! T-I-G-E-R-S, Tigers!
Play my darn theme
LSU,
music.
Coastal Carolina, tonight at 6. It's time. The College World Series finals are among us. National championship on the line. Let's ride.
Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9, it's Tingle Co. What up, Lloyd? What up, Lloyd? You can call me him. I'm Shay Dixon in the whip with them RPMs. Gotta pull up to the chat, yeah, shit out to them. Not trying to ball like Big 4, then get out the gym. Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. When you